some TNT and dynamite. TNT, and I'll win the fight. TNT, I'm a power load. TNT.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Wednesday, March 25th, 2020, which means we are ready for TNT today. Today, we're going to go ahead and continue on just by going out there and doing some CAD modeling, with just some everyday household items. I went out there to the cabinet this morning and I pulled out my trusty PLTW coffee mug, and that's what we're actually going to be modeling today. Really not that hard, just a couple fun little things we can do with work planes. We can use sweep, possibly some shell, who knows. We're just going to kind of make it up as we go, but that's what we're going to be creating today. So let's go ahead and let's get started. We're going to go ahead and create a brand new standard inch IPT just like so. I'm going to start a 2D sketch on this work plane. Does not matter actually which work plane, just pick a work plane. I'm going to create a circle that starts here from the origin. This is going to be out a distance, or it's going to have a diameter of 3. So 3-inch diameter. I'm going to go ahead and finish the sketch. I'm now going to go ahead and extrude that out to a distance of 4 inches. And I'm going to go ahead and say OK. So when taking a look at the actual coffee mug itself, I don't know if you can see this or not, but there's a slight little indentation here on the bottom. All right, so it's not completely flat, so let's go out there and take care of that. All right, so what I'm going to do is start a 2D sketch here on this face. I'm going to project geometry. I'm going to use offset, and I'm just going to offset that in. I don't know, we're just going to say like a distance of 0.125. I'm going to finish that up. I'm going to use extrude, and I'm just going to cut this in a distance of, we'll just say 0.0625. Make sure that is a cut. And let's go ahead and just cut that away. Oops, looks like I missed that. Let's do it again. Extrude. That's going to be a cut, 0.0625. There we go. Went in 0.0625. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and use fillet at this point and come right here. And I'm going to apply that radius of 0.125, just like so. And now we can see we have that slight indentation there on the bottom. So now what I'm going to do is flip this over, come here to the top, start a 2D sketch. Project some geometry, and when taking a look at the actual wall thickness on that coffee mug, let's just go ahead and I'm going to just offset that in a distance of 0.1875 like so. I'm going to go ahead and finish the sketch. I'm going to do an extrude, and this is going to be cut down to a distance of 3.75. So it's not going to go all the way to the bottom. There is a little bit more material there at the base just to lower that center of gravity. So okay, so we have that. Now, here's the thing. We're taking a look at this. This would not be a very comfortable coffee mug to probably drink out of. So the top on this is sort of squared off. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to use fillet. I'm going to pick on this edge and this edge. All right, now it's telling me something's not right because, well, the radius is probably too big. So what I'm going to do is this. I know it's 0.1875 thickness, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide that, okay, by 2. And when I divide that by 2, that's going to make sure that it's completely rounded over there on top, and it's going to make it a lot easier to drink out of. I'm going to go ahead and flip this to the bottom. I'm going to use a fillet here on the bottom, just like so. And it looks like that is probably too large of a fillet, so I'm going to just drop this down to maybe like a 1/16 of an inch, or 0.0625, because I still want there to be some sort of a ledge there, just like so. And then taking a look at the bottom of the actual coffee mug itself, I'm going to go ahead and apply a fillet down here at the bottom. We'll just call it a 1/16 of an inch. That's good to go. All right, so this would be a good point to probably reset my home view. So I'm going to come out here, go to the home icon, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to set the current view as home and pick on fit to view. Okay, and once I have that reset, now's the time to go out there and start constructing our handle for the side of it. All right, so in order to do that, I'm going to come up here underneath the origin folder. I'm going to be finding a plane that's going to go right down through the center of that. So it could be, that would be a good candidate. That would be a good candidate. Obviously, that's not going to work. So I'm going to come up here and just right click on one of these planes. I'm going to go ahead and turn the visibility on. Okay, just don't forget that there are two sides to a work plane. So in the 2018 Inventor, that was going to be like this reddish color and bluish color. Red is going to be the front, blue is the back. It might change depending on your version, so take a look at that. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a plane that's going to be tangent to this curved surface, and I'm going to use this existing work plane, okay, as a reference in order to construct that. But the thing is, I'm going to come again and create a plane. I'm going to pick, hold, and drag and pull this out, and I'm just going to bring this out like, I don't know, like 1/8 of an inch. Okay, that's the actual plane I want to be working on right there. So in order to avoid any sort of confusion, what I'm going to do is come in here and turn off this plane, just uncheck the visibility, and then come down here, and it's going to be the work plane that's underneath that. I'm going to right click on that and turn the visibility off. Okay, so we are basically set. I'm going to start a 2D sketch on this work plane. And now I'm going to go ahead and start projecting some geometry through so I can use that geometry to go ahead and track and place the slots I'm going to use in just a minute. So I'm going to use project geometry. I'm going to pick on the top and I'm going to pick on the bottom. I'm going to come out here and find slot. Now there's different sort of slots that we can use. I'm going to be looking for the center point slot. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and just track that in place, keep this totally vertical to that center point. I'm going to bring this over, and it looks like my handle is like 0.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this over halfway, which would be 0.25, and the actual thickness on this is going to be 0.1875. All right, when I was taking a look at this, the center point of the handle, probably to the top, is around 0.75, so I'm going to go ahead and specify that distance. Now I'm going to go out there and create another slot. So I'm going to start it from here. I'm going to kick this over a distance of 0.25 just like before, put my thickness of 0.1875 on it, come up here, go to dimension, and from the center point to the bottom, that's going to be a distance of 0.75 like so. All right, so I have that done. I'm going to go ahead and finish the sketch. And now what I'm going to do is use an extrude, take that profile. Okay, I'm going to send it in the other direction, make sure it's a join, and I'm going to say go to next. And basically I have two platforms now that I can use in order to create the rest of my handle. All right, so to avoid some confusion, I'm going to go ahead and just turn off this work plane. And now what I want to do is get a work plane that goes through the center of this, but now it cuts right down the center of those two platforms I just created. So I'm going to go out there and find that plane, which is going to be this one. I'm going to go ahead and turn the visibility on, and I want to be making sure I look at that, okay, in the front of the work plane. So now what I'm going to do is start a 2D sketch on that work plane. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to project some geometry. I'm going to project that face and that face, and I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to start it from this midpoint here and take it down to this midpoint right here. All right, I'm doing that because I want to come back in here. All right, and I want to find ellipse. So I'm going to start my ellipse, okay, from this midpoint. I'm going to take it up to that endpoint, and then I'm just going to be bringing this out, all right, to sort of come up with the shape of the actual coffee mug handle. All right, so I kind of like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out here and go ahead and trim out the rest of this, and then I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of that line, and I'm going to go ahead and finish the sketch. All right, I need a profile to use, so I'm going to start a 2D sketch on this face, and then what I'm going to do is go ahead and do a project geometry on that face and finish the sketch. All right, so we have everything we basically need. I can come here to sweep. I can go ahead and use that as my path. Okay, that profile is going to send it along that path. I'm going to go ahead and say okay, and there is my handle for my coffee mug. I can go ahead now and shut down that plane just like so. All right, and we basically have our coffee mug created. All right, so this would be a great time to go out there and drop in a decal. Very simple to do. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on a plane like so. All right, and what I'm going to do is create a plane. I'm going to pick and make it tangent to this curved face here, and then I'm going to pick on that work plane. All right, so it's going to be referencing it. I can now start a 2D sketch on that work plane. And then all I have to do is come out here and insert an image. And then hopefully ahead of time, or at this point, that's when you'd be going out there and finding a logo that you could possibly use. So I think I grabbed one here earlier. This is a PLTW logo. I can go ahead and drop that in. All right, no problem if it's coming in upside down or whatever. Just come here to the grips on the corners. Okay, you can scale that, you can rotate it, and you can also go ahead and just drag that into place. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a little manipulation here. Okay, I'm kind of liking that. That's somewhat centered. I can now go ahead and finish the sketch. All right, so at this point we can say decal. We can pick on the image and then just simply pick on the face that's going to be wrapping it to. And now I can say okay. And there we go. We have our PLTW logo that's put right there on the actual face. So I'm going to go ahead and just shut off some work planes here, just like so. And I can now come out here and make this, whatever material I'd like for that to be. And I don't know, maybe it's copper, okay, maybe it's something we 3D printed, who knows. Go ahead and slap some material on it. But there you go. That's our household item for today, just the simple coffee mug. A lot of great stuff there with a lot of work planes, but it's a lot of work plane manipulation. There's sweep in there, there's some decal, but there you go. Thanks for joining me for TNT today. I'll see you soon.